Hello, you are listening to Just Films and That. This is the podcast where we celebrate films we think deserve a little bit more love. Whether they're underrated or underseen, we're going to talk about them one film at a time. I'm the host, Josh Hallam, and I'm joined as ever by my wonderful co-host, Jamie Allen. Jamie, how you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm good, Josh. Happy January.
Happy January, first one of the year for me and you. It was me on my own last week, but it's me and you this week. Did you have a good New Year's?
Yeah, it was great. We've had some complaints about you doing the one on your own, so I'm here to bolster up the episode.
About how I was sort of making it all about me.
Yeah, but we're going to make this about me.
And all of my thoughts on the film, which I think at the moment is Dan in real life, but that might change.
What are you on about? We've recorded this and then put it out straight away.
It's so soon. We record it so soon and put it out so soon. But yeah, any New Year's resolutions for 2026?
Just to not watch any films this year, I think. Take a step back.
So same as last year?
Yeah, read more books.
Yeah. Welcome to Just Books and That. When we talk about, is there such thing as an underrated or underread book?
Oh, God. Yeah, but I think you and me are not the right minds to talk on.
Yeah, no. If you need that, Radio 4 is there.
The Bible too. Not a lot of people talk about the second Bible.
Don't, and it really did expand on everything from the first one.
Oh, that's what you meant. Oh, all right. So
but no, Happy New Year, mate. Thank you. Looking forward to another year of podcasting.
I can't wait. I hope it's December already so that we can say we smashed out another 12 months of okay stuff. There.
Yes, so if you've not listened to us in January before, if you've not listened to us before at all, we are a podcast that talks about underrated and underseen films. We take a film we think deserves more love and attention and we talk about it. Now, every January, we tend to focus on films that we think are a little bit more uplifting, a little bit more feel-good, just not as heavy as other films, because January is tough enough. So we always do a series of films like we did Dan in Real Life last week, and we're doing a film called In and Out, which I've picked it. It's from 1997. So two things for that. Number one, a little bit of a spoiler warning for you, even though it is a almost 30-year-old film. Number two, the film, although it's lighthearted and we're not really going to get into the actual social issues of it as best we can in terms of, because we're just talking about the film, but it does cover the issue of coming out and acceptance in the LGBTQIA plus community. So if that's triggering for you, I just wanted to give you a little warning. Not that we particularly going into it, considering we're both two heterosexual men.
Still listen to the episode, but put it on silent so that we get the listen.
Yeah, we get the listen, please. But yeah, In and Out, Jamie, have you seen it before?
Yeah, I watched this when it came out. No, when it came out. This was a VHS rental, I think. So it must have been 98. Oh, yeah. Really. I can't remember what it is, but I loved Kevin Kline at that age. I think because we watched January Man early on, which I'll probably end up bringing that to this podcast at some point.
I don't think I've seen it.
Well, January, basically it's a crime comedy weird caper thing, but I loved the physical comedy of Kevin Kline at the time.
A Fish Called Wanda as well.
Yeah, all the stuff like that. And
Wild West. We hadn't done that yet.
No.
Which we did do in a January before.
As well, West like 99, is that, or 98?
Yeah, it's the year after this, and it's solid, Jamie. It's not as bad as everyone says it is.
But this, I was a big fan of his. I also the premise was so solid. I remember the trailer absolutely smashed it because you have the clip of him doing the Oscar speech, and he's gay. You cut to Kevin Kline. I'm not gay. Great soundtrack on the trailer.
Yeah,
it was fun as well, and It was really fun, and it was basically. I think what we saw this as kids is it's a high concept movie. Man in town, everyone thinks he's gay, he's not gay. Oh, spoiler, he's gay.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've not seen the film, essentially Kevin Kline plays an English teacher who's due to get married. He's living in like a sort of small town in middle America. Is it Indiana he's living in? Small town in
I can't remember. It's just one of those perfect little small town.
Perfect little chocolate box town, isn't it, sort of thing. So yeah, he's living in a small town in middle America. He's due to get married to Emily, played by Joan Cusack, and one of his students is due to he's at the Oscars, and he's nominated for Best Actor for playing a gay soldier. When he wins, he dedicates the award to Kevin Kline's character, saying, because he influenced me so much and he's gay. And then it becomes an exploration about Howard, who's Kevin Kline's character's sexuality, whether he is gay, whether he just thinks he is because of this news, why he might not have come to terms with it or didn't even think about it in the past. And then it is a comedy, so it is dealt with quite lighthearted. In terms of why I picked it for this, A, like I said, we do lighthearted films and things like that. But B, I mean, I love this film. I think it's such a great film, and I do think it's both underrated and underseen. I mean, I might touch on this again in the future, but I feel like if they remade this now, it'd be a smash hit.
I
just wonder if it came out at the wrong time.
I don't think we get this film now because I think it can't be this lighthearted. I think the idea of someone else stealing your coming out story is, there's no way a studio would let them handle this so lightly. It'd have to be more. It'd have to have more substance,
more weight to it. Yeah.
Which is a shame because
I know what you mean.
The gay community deserves light-hearted comedy.
Yeah, and I think we'll come on to this, but I think the tone is perfect. I think it's so well balanced. At no point is it pandering, but at no point is it. They almost make jokes where they lead you down an alleyway of, these people that are around him are going to have a problem with the fact that he's gay, and actually they don't. It's just like, so for example, his mother, who's played by Debbie Reynolds, has a plot line of like, he thinks they're going to have an issue with it, and actually what she has an issue with is he's not getting married.
Yeah.
And she really, really wants to be at a wedding. So, but anyway, so we'll come on to that. So if you've not listened before, we talk about what we liked about the film, then we move on to what we didn't like about the film. Nice and simple. And then we move on to the critical reception and box office and decide whether or not it is underrated or underseen. So, likes then, Jamie, what do you reckon? What do you like about it? Or do you want me to go first?
Why don't you go first, Josh? This is your film, your boy. You land the plane.
So what did I like about it then? I mean, I will say this is probably one of my favourite films that we've done. I do have a real personal attachment to this film. I think it's light, fluffy, funny. I think the tone is perfect. I think it deals with it really, really well. I think for me, this is a really good way to deal with issues like this. Not everything, not every issue could be dealt with like this. You wouldn't make a film about, racism, or maybe not racism, a racially related matter like slavery or something like this in the same manner. But I think the tone is pretty well. I love this idea of exploring quite complex issues around sexuality and masculinity in small town America. But then what they do is they execute it in the most mainstream of ways, using the same framing and the warm wash music for something where, so it's almost that idea of a standard comedy concept is normal man who has extraordinary thing happen to him. On normal character doesn't have to be man. Normal character has something extraordinary happen to them that forges them into a new person and creates a new path for them. So think about things like
Phenomenon. Tootsie. John Travolta's Phenomenon.
Yeah, John Travolta. No, Tootsie or Mrs. Doubtfire, Bruce Almighty, things like that, where where a normal person has something abnormal happen to them. Except this is not extraordinary, as in it's not abnormal, it's not superpowered, it's not supernatural like Bruce Almighty or something like that. So I love the way that they execute that in the same way as like a Bruce Almighty or a Tootsie or something like that. And I think they manage things like the outrage and the tone of it so well. I mean, it handles the subject matter, it handles the tone so much better than things that came after it. It is we talked about this before. There are many comedies that came after it, sort of post-American Pie, if you like, that are some we've done on this podcast that are particularly mean-spirited and like they're having a go at people, but they're not. It's not with love. Whereas everything in this, every piece of subject matter, every hint, every joke is dealt with love. The acting, I think, is brilliant. I mean, Joan Cusack got an Oscar nomination for this film, and I think it's richly deserved.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've got
the Joan Cusack as my MVP, and I'm really happy that she gets the Jessie Toy Story money.
She's great in this. So obviously Kevin Kline's your lead. We'll come back to him, but your supporting cast is great. So Joan Cusack is brilliant because actually, if anyone's the emotional heart of this film, it's actually Joan Cusack's character. Because she has this moment of she's sort of really looking forward to getting married to Howard, Kevin Kline's character. She's lost all this weight. She's waited for him. It never says what that means, but we know what that means in the sort of subtext of the plot and things like this. And she is in her rights in the film to be really, really upset with what happens to her because of everything she's been through. She has this really lovely speech about like, why doesn't anybody want me? And it's like equal parts funny and emotional at the same time. It's like, it's pitch perfect in terms of the tone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she allows us to laugh at her because her character she's shouting the things and not crying the things. She's still because she's at a level of anger, it's not desperation or patheticness. And you know that person is going to bounce back. If someone can be angry, then they can bounce back. If someone's crying or miserable, it's got to be harder to bounce back. But she lets you laugh at her because she's still someone who could go into a bar and pick up a guy. She hasn't let it beat her.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point, is that it's like, you feel sorry for her because of what's happened to her, but you know that she'll bounce back. And that's the sort of handling of the character. I think it's really, really good. Other supporting characters as well are really great. Like Debbie Reynolds, I think, is really good as how a sort of exasperated mother, like we said it before, like his parents are the characters you're expecting to be the ones who have that outrage. And there is elements of, it does come close to the line in places in terms of how the characters, particularly some of his students and his parents, deal with the fact that he either is gay or might be gay. I mean, like, obviously, spoilers, he is gay, but it's not actually confirmed until about halfway through.
Yeah. So I think the wedding is a great device in this to show people are upset or concerned because of this event, and not primarily because you don't hear any homophobic language from the parents, and the brother is supportive. There might be some confusion, and there's a readjustment of how you feel about this person, but there's not we're cutting you off. And it's the upset there, like you said, with the mum is, oh no, because of this means this, or that maybe they're concerned for his career, but it's not even you would imagine that there's some kind of Christian faith in this. They're not going to make him an outcast or judge him based on him being gay.
And that again, that's one of the real elements of comedy, which is it leads you down the road of these people are outraged at him being gay, and then boom, one after the other, it's just either, oh no, they're ignorant, the school, the students have loads of weird questions, as if being gay is being an alien and things like that, or like you say, his mum's not bothered, she just wants a wedding. And that's where I think where the comedy comes from. I mean, shout out, we've got to talk about Kevin Kline. Because, I mean, he carries this. He is brilliant.
The dance scene is great. He gets a tape to become masculine. And it's a great little
self-help masculinity tape, isn't it?
Yeah, and you would never have in this, because it's one of those where it's a fun old trope of you play a tape and then the tape knows exactly what you're doing,
Yeah.
And I know, it's catchy banger. Kevin Kline, as you say, physically great. And it's nice to see someone try to repress the light inside them and then be like, no, I'm going to dance, Yeah.
No, and that's where the feel good element comes in, because it is all about accepting who you are and loving yourself for who you are. And I think that's where it really comes into its own in that final act, in that final third of the film and things like that. I think the script is great as well. I mean, I've seen this film quite a few times and I do laugh every time at something else. So
I stopped writing down jokes because I was like, I'm just going to write them all down. After I got to when Wilford Brimley's talking about is it Matt Dillon?
Matt Dillon's character.
He goes, used to mow a lawn, never again.
What I laughed at was I've never noticed how pitch perfect the fake film is.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the fake film that Matt Dillon starred in, it's a bit, I suppose the closest thing I can compare it to is sort of like Tropic Thunder, which is it is the sort of film that it is sending. That it is the sort of film that In and Out is sending up, which is a sort of an awards bait piece about subject matter where an actor transforms for a role or something like that. But even things down to the names of the other films that are nominated, and she's like Clint Eastwood for Codger.
And Steven
Paul Newman for Birthday Cake or something like that. I can't remember. It's like Birthday in Hell, is it, or something like that?
Snowball in Hell is
that's it. Snowball in Hell. I mean, I always laugh at the bit where he's talking to Tom Selleck and he says the intersexual and the homo state. It makes me laugh every single time, that line.
Yeah, I mean, even before that, when he tells him that he's gay and he says, "This isn't Los Angeles."
I mean, Tom Selleck's great in it as well. Yeah. You're Quigley. Your favourite Quigley's in this. Well, of all the Quigleys, he's the best one.
I'll give you a spoiler for my dislikes. I've got written here in my notes, where the fuck is Tom Selleck's mustache? But apart from that,
that's the only. I think this and Friends are the only things I've seen him in. He's not got a mustache.
I do not like seeing him without a mustache, but I think Tom Selleck's great in this because he's got a little bit of the a Shakespearean puck, He's come in
with
a bit of anarchy, like, and he's enjoying the anarchy that he's creating. I always
he's not that far off buttons in a panto, is he?
Yeah, he's, and I like that he never feels embarrassed that he's potentially doing something very bad to this man that he's going around. Yeah. He's disrupting his life because he assumes he's, and he does actually end up helping, but that's not his purpose. His purpose, it's like I love a character that can have fun just being anarchy, just because
he is completely morally not one way or the other. Like you think it's very much out for himself, but he also just seems to genuinely care about Kevin Kline's character.
Yeah, and that bit where he stumbles across his parents after they just kissed, and you can see how embarrassed Kevin Kline is, and Tom Selleck is reveling in how panicked this guy is.
Yes,
and how at any point he could just ruin his life in a fun way, not in like a I'm going to get you just because he can, maybe.
Yeah, just for the fun of it.
Yeah,
but and I do think I've mentioned Joan Cusack's speech as well. I do think it's pretty moving as well, like her speech about why does no one want me, and also there's a little ending. There's a sort of like a Spartacus ending, isn't there? Where they all stand up and say I'm gay. Part of me that does stray a little bit into the cheesy, but I'm not sure if actually that's sort of a film like this that could be an extension of parody.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they do have. They balance it with some decent jokes where like the girl stands up and she pretends like gay is taking over, like it's a demon, and you've got the guy who's been like the most critical, who doesn't want to get up, and then he's like, I still sleep with loads of girls.
I still have sex with girls.
I feel like that's a little bit because it's Spartacus, but I think the what that should have been is them standing up going, I'm fine with it, because it's meant to be the whole town.
Instead of proclaiming that they are. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know and perhaps that's more down to the aging of it than anything. But then speaking of the aging, touched on it there. I don't think this is particularly aged badly.
No. What's good is there's no homophobic language. There's nothing that is now gone. Anybody who says anything negative is considered adult. You're an idiot if you perceive it as this.
Yeah.
So the aging is fine. I do. He's got a bit of cliche, like the Barbra Streisand thing, and the whole like your hand goes limp as soon as you know that you're gay. Like there's stuff in there, but then you throw in the Tom Selleck character, who's someone who's been out for a long time and is openly gay, and so it's not like they're saying every single person has camp qualities. They're just saying this is a man who has these traits, but no one's really considered it.
Yeah, and so I suppose some of it does play into stereotype, doesn't it? Like some of the students say things like, "Well, because you're quite well dressed and you're always clean," and things like that. It's like, well, does that make him gay? Does it?
Because you ride a bike.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, that's what's funny is because it's
the ignorance of it, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't just go, these are the things in real life that we would like. If somebody. A male friend of yours who did like a lot of Barbra Streisand films, that is a well-known cliche. But they add on top of that the insane stuff like the riding a bike, like dressing well.
Yeah. You're always clean.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I mean, what else? Obviously, I feel like I've rambled on there, mate. But what else do you like about it then? Is there anything else?
So I think it depicts small town America really well because it depicts them positively. Like, it's sure you could say that they're ignorant, but they're ignorant about this one thing that was, mid-90s, it was growing. I think it's quite interesting to see the teenagers. I think if you do this in 2025, the teenagers are the ones who are leading the charge for him to be out and proud.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's quite odd seeing the young people, not progressive. I mean,
that's true, actually. Yeah,
the girls do try to get there, but they're still kind of a little bit wary, and it's handed definitely, and it means that you get a stronger arc if when they come around to it.
Does it ever confirm that one of his students is actually gay?
So I think the
one it's the first one that stands up. Is he actually saying he is gay?
Yeah, the guy from the faculty. I think they hold on his face long enough that I've always thought that like he is actually gay, isn't he? But I think maybe at that time it's a bit too much to have a high schooler confirm, because then does it feel like kids come out and be gay, which is sad because at that age you probably do know. But I think it's if you're I can't speak for the gay community, but the way I see it is if you're watching that and you see him do that, because he's the first one and he's the bravest because he doesn't know if anyone's. I think you can read that as that is him. In many ways,
he's emboldened.
Yeah, he's just come out and then everyone else has decided to do it next to him. It's like, well, but yeah, I think he's. I like the actor. I can't remember his name, but I haven't seen him in much apart from this in The Faculty. But he's got a bit of subtlety about him on top of because his mate is designed to be a bonehead. But he's a bit more nuanced. That guy. And I hope he got some good, maybe some good TV work. And the girls are. It's a really good joke about when one of the girls stands up and says, "Well, I'm getting," it's like, "What?" And the teacher's like, "I know for a fact you're not because you're slack."
Because you're slack. Yeah. I mean, I suppose talk about like how it would be today. I wonder if they made it now. And I'm not just saying this to lead into the cliche, but I do wonder if it would be like a musical. It lends itself to a sort of, but then maybe I'm just I'm thinking of this. Everyone's talking about Jamie, aren't I? Which is, I don't mean you. I mean the musical.
Everyone is talking about me though, and
they are. And behind your back.
No one can prove that I did that. So,
is there anything else from you?
I was just going to touch on there's some really interesting character beats. I really like that when he goes to a stag do, he's introduced things such as the Barbra Streisand films.
Yeah.
That they all like they all.
Yeah.
He's not a recluse. He's not considered weird. He's on the the volunteer fireman brigade, and no one, any level of culture that he's instilled, like the kids are happy that he's taught them. One of them's going off to college, so I like that because no one has ever, you could imagine someone saying like, "Oh, he's always been a bit fruity" or something like that. His personality at no point is considered negative. Anything that he brings with him. I really like this. The boys in the stag do are like, let's get down to it and watch Yentl.
Watch. Is it Funny Girl?
Yeah. And they say like they love watching all that stuff now. So yeah, just that I think it plays. It shows that they're a little bit more cultured than what another film would just have these as like backwater swamp people who are like, I'm not watching a musical. Whereas this is a bit different.
Yeah. Anything else from you on that? Anything else?
No. I mean, we covered, just to say it again, Jo Cusack, just still give her more work. She does a great little cameo in a film called Instant Family, if you haven't seen.
The Mark
Wahlberg adoption film. She's got a little cameo in that where you're like, fucking, that's Jo Cusack.
Yeah.
And
she's got a really small cameo in Popstar. Popstar Never Stop, Never Stop Him. She's great. She is, I've never seen her like, she's brilliant in everything I've seen her in, even like High Fidelity, School of Rock.
Grosse Pointe Blank. She's amazing in Grosse Pointe Blank.
She's amazing in Grosse Pointe Blank.
And of course, Adam Chandler Values. I think that's going to be a high point, surely.
It's great. She's great, isn't she? She's just so good,
Joan, come on the show. Come on.
Come on, Joan. You're the best Cusack, I'd say.
Whoa. Greg Cusack, if you're listening, we got you back with me.
Okay, then we'll move on to anything that we didn't like, that we change about it. I mean, we always try and be balanced. We always try and find stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, mate. It was a real stretch for me. Apart from one or two really insignificant, possibly things, I haven't really got anything. Have you?
Yeah, I've got a few. So buckle up.
Oh, well, you've ruined it then, so that's fine.
So, I love an emotion bomb, obviously.
Yeah.
I could have done with a bit of a speech from the dad because I love I'm a real sucker for a coming out story where you think the dad is going to be against it and just fully accepts it, and that bit where the dad goes right, it's really nice scene where he goes around to see him after the wedding, and it's Wilford Brimley, diabetes, but he goes around. I don't know if you know that reference. He did.
Yeah, I know. Just the fact that he just went, Wilford Brimley. It sounds like he was a double-barreled surname, Wilford Brimley diabetes.
If you don't know, he did the adverts in America for diabetes, but he said it diabetes. It's a very funny advert. But I would have liked he doesn't, well, he says, like he asks them questions and it's kind of implied that he's accepting it, but I would have liked that to be you can fit in a bit of a monologue here. You can get a bit of I love you.
Yeah, it's a bit soft, isn't it? So there is a little bit of a thing where he sort of says, I'm trying, but it's quite loosely handled. It's quite soft, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, apart from that, I'm about to say this, but then I'm mean-spirited anyway. It's quite mean-spirited towards models. And like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
like,
To consider it, it's very much like I am what I am, and then in the same breath, it's like all models are thick.
yeah, this was written by someone who's probably been in LA and had a run in with some models and be like, I'm going to show them. And it's, should we be concerned that Matt Dillon has like a fetish for fat girlfriends and then is actively feeding someone who's just tried really hard to lose all that weight? And I know what they're trying to say. What they're trying to say is, you know, you change that weight, but you're perfect the way you are. But as an overweight person, if I lost all this weight and then I started dating a feeder, I would be like, I'm going to kill you and myself. We can't go back today. I like going upstairs. It's fun.
Yeah.
And so
also, Matt Dillon, I like Matt Dillon, but he can't ever quite lose the sleaziness. Like,
yeah, he still feels like a scumbag in this.
Yeah, whatever he does in it, it's like warm, wash, nice music. He's like, come on, everyone. He wants to be himself. You're still like, yeah, you definitely sleep with my girlfriend if you had the chance, though.
And then the only one is like, I did spoil it before, but gay people love Barbra Streisand, don't they? Apparently.
Yeah, it's big thing.
So I would like to, because as you said, we're two straight men. I would like to know what a gay person's view of this interpretation is. But as we said, it's only one of, you have several gay characters, and then the film goes to lengths to show they're not all the same in terms of levels of masculinity, levels of culture. But I think they do the Streisand joke a bit too many times. But it does pay off in the fuck Yentl line.
Yeah, it does. I know what you mean. It does sort of it's almost like it slightly dips its toe in the pool of cheesy, and it slightly dips its toe in the pool of over egging that pudding in terms of the Streisand joke. My one issue with it, and I've never really noticed this until I watched it for this, was sort of implies at the end that he's in a relationship with Tom Selleck's character.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I was a bit like, I don't know if that's a bit like, well, we might as well put the two of them together.
No, well, yeah, I think that's just two friends who are...
Do you think? Yeah. It never explicitly says, so you couldn't say they're definitely together. It doesn't show any. They kiss, but they kiss before it shows them together, because it's like I'm showing you how you feel sort of thing.
It was a magic kiss, and actually, if you look at it as like a Disneyfication, he kisses him to wake him up. He does, and also it's like it was the first longest recorded kiss between two men on camera, I think. Oh, you haven't checked my phone, but
not on camera, sorry, in a film.
Yeah, I guess.
in a narrative feature film.
It is sad to have to say that it was brave of straight actors to do this.
Yeah.
But, Tom Selleck, it's probably a bit of a career risk.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's quite groundbreaking for its time, isn't it, really? Which is, it's sad to say, considering it's not even 30 years old yet, but it is.
Yeah, and also it's nice to know, because that if they're doing these parts, then obviously you know that Tom Selleck isn't a raging bigot at her, because he's done this far.
Or it's a massive cover up.
Or he's done it and coming away and being like, oh, yuck. But yeah, no, it's and I'm glad that we've got this on it, and it is feel good, and it's a film that ends on a wedding, and it's
with curtain call ending.
Yeah, I love that. I think it works at the end of Hitch. I think the one that absolutely smashes it is There's Something About Mary, where you see that they've been filming them all singing "Build Me a Buttercup." End your film on a high. Even Predator does it. End with a song on a high. And I
love it. I love a curtain call ending, and I love a big blockbuster with a song accompanying it, and the music video for the song is clips from the film.
Yeah, perfect.
Bring it back. Yeah. I can't. When was the last film to do it? Do you know what? Top Gun Maverick did it.
Yeah,
and it was like the first film that had done it for about 5 years.
I think obviously it peaked with "There You'll Be" by Faith Hill from Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, but that is a song. That's not as good as Everything I Do by Bryan Adams or whatever it is you always say. I can't remember what you...
Coyote Ugly smashes it. Can't fight the Moonlight.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be a 2-hour thing of just...
Okay, let's move on to talking about the critical reception then. If you've not listened before, we always take the IMDb score, then both Rotten Tomatoes score, the critics and the audience, and then we average them out, and we look at the box office as well. So we take a look at, is it underrated, is it underseen? Just to remind you, I picked it because I think it is both underrated and underseen. So rating wines, mate, then, what would you give it? How would you score it roughly?
I give it an 8, I think.
Yeah, I give it solid 8, maybe more.
Yeah. And I'll allow that. I think where it loses points is like that. Like I said, it's, maybe it leaves too much on the jokes about his campness, but it's a great. I didn't say this before, but I watched this as a child, which is important. More mature stories like LGBT stories, like Philadelphia. I'm not watching that as a child, so I'm not getting those kinds of stories. This was, it's a fun family film. So, and that's what it does well. It's not, it's not so heavy that it's like, the kids can't watch this.
And that's important.
Yeah.
I do think that's important. Like not every issues-based film. It's really important that films tackle issues that are reflective of the society by which they're made, but it doesn't always mean it has to be heavy. And this is a perfect example of how to do that, I think.
God, aren't we great?
So good, aren't we? Anyway, so at the time of recording, at the time of recording, IMDb gives it 6.4 out of 10. The Rotten Tomatoes critics give it 74%, so that's a little bit better. And the Rotten Tomatoes audience, who can, we don't swear that much, but they can fuck off. They give it 52%, which
bigots,
is just bigots. I've always said everyone on Rotten Tomatoes is a bigot.
I wonder how many people went in and reviewed that after not knowing what the subject matter was, and then they're like, "Oh my god, it was gay."
So that averages out at 63% or just over 6 out of 10. So I'm going to go straight in and say that's well underrated.
Yeah, that's
underrated.
This is at least an 8. So yeah,
it is. The box office. Now, when I was reading about it, it said the box office, it did quite well. It was quite a hit in terms of the time. But it probably wasn't made for loads of money, but it made $64 million worldwide, which is pretty good for the time and for considering it's not a big blockbuster tentpole film. But I still think it's underseen because I just don't know if many people are seeking it out, and that's what we're all about here is pointing people in the direction of these films. And if you were to give me, and obviously the podcast is gonna we'll keep going, but at this moment in time, if you were to give me a Mount Rushmore of films and that we've done on this podcast and say who is on there, which films are on there, this is on there.
Okay, I mean, I think it's important for us to, when we say underseen, it's, box office is a metric, but just, is this a film that people know about? And yeah, you're right, it's not one that people talk about. It's not one that, people don't own a lot of it, as you don't look in and people just got it on DVD. It doesn't pop up in the streamers, does it? It's not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'd never heard of this until I think I just got a streaming service and it just happened to be in a category, and I saw it. And but it wasn't recommended to me by anyone. I just stumbled across it one day and watched it. So there we go. We're saying underrated and underseen then.
Yeah.
Yes, happy with that. Well, there we go. Yeah, another one in the underrated and underseen bracket. So it's a classic double whammy. We'll be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, if you'd like to get in touch with us, it's filmsandthatpod@gmail.com. We're on all the social medias and Letterboxd. If you click in the show description, there is a link tree that will take you everywhere you need to go in terms of our social media and our Letterboxd. Do give us a follow. We're always putting stuff out there. All that remains to be said is we will see you next week. It's goodbye from me. Cheerio.
Bye.